Today, we start our new topic of analytic geometry. In this topic, we will learn how to write the equation of a straight line, how to identify its intercepts and gradients, how to calculate intercepts and gradients, how to write the equation of a line, how to identify parallel lines, perpendicular lines as well, how to determine the length of a line, how to calculate the midpoint of a line, and how to determine the perpendicular bisector of a line. Our objectives today are 1. Identifying the equation of a straight line, and 2. Identifying intercepts and gradients. So there are two forms of a straight line, what are known as the standard form and the slope-intercept form. The standard form is normally written as ax plus by equal k, where a, b, and k are all constants. X and y are your variables. This is most commonly seen in this form when dealing with simultaneous equations. The slope-intercept form is usually written as y equal mx plus c. That is mainly in the Caribbean. In the US and other countries, you will see it written as y equal mx plus b. The m represents the slope, which is also known as gradient, which is also known as steepness. The c represents the y-intercept. So, what exactly is gradient or slope? The gradient tells you how steep a line is. So if you think about it like climbing a mountain, going uphill is a positive gradient and going downhill is a negative gradient. So if a mountain is very steep, we say it has a big slope or gradient. But if it is not so steep, if it is easier to climb, then it has a smaller gradient or slope. If you are walking on flat land that is level, then the gradient is neither positive nor negative. It would be 0. The gradient symbol is m for how mountainous a slope is. René Descartes, the French mathematician and philosopher, invented the concept of gradient, and he assigned the letter m as montagne, which is French for mountain. What is the y-intercept? It is simply the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. So in this example here, you see that this straight line represented by the blue line crosses the y-axis at the point 0,5. Since there is a y-axis, then there is also an x-axis for every straight line. The x-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the x-axis. So in this example here, that is the point 80. So let's look at an example where we identify the gradient and y-intercept. If you had the equation y equals 7x minus 3, then the gradient would be 7 and the y-intercept would be negative 3, or the point 0, negative 3. The gradient m is 7 simply because it is the coefficient of the x term. And then the y-intercept, negative 3, is the constant by itself. Next example. Y equal 2/3 x plus 5. The gradient m is 2/3 and the y-intercept is c equals 5, or 0,5. Why is the gradient 2/3? Because it is the coefficient of the x. The 2 is not the coefficient of the x, nor the 3. What is coefficient again? It is the number that is multiplying the variable x. So it's the entire fraction 2/3 that is being multiplied by the variable x. One last example. Let's say we have the equation of a straight line written as 10x plus 2y equal 18. First off, we have to realize that this is not in slope-intercept form, it is in the standard form. So we have to first rearrange the equation so that it is in the slope-intercept form. So in doing so, our first step would be to have 2y equal negative 10x plus 18. And then, transposing the 2, it would be y equal negative 10x plus 18 all divided by 2. Our next step would be in realizing that this is the same as y equal to negative 10x over 2 plus 18 over 2. Both terms, negative 10x and 18, are over that common denominator of 2. So now that we have separated them, we take the negative 10x and divide it by 2, as well as we take the 18 and divide it by 2. And that will give us y equal to negative 5x plus 9. So now that it is in the slope-intercept form, then we can identify the gradient as m equal negative 5 and the y-intercept as c equals positive 9 or 0, 9 written in coordinate form. So if you understood that, then practice on the following. Identify the gradient and y-intercept of those. Thank you. Have a nice day.